Backup car, as did Kyle Busch.
Same situation. Kyle got a little bit out of the groove there. There are a lot of marbles building up there. Very little rubber down on the racetrack.
I give you a Busch, I give you a Biffle. Here he comes, outside and inside wall for the 16.
Yeah, five-time winner Kyle Busch goes to a backup. Greg Biffle, who always runs well at Bristol, he goes to a backup. And how about this guy?
I mean, Matt Kenseth won the race there in August, gets up in the marbles, a little kiss of the wall, no backup car for the 20 team. And Tony Stewart, they just weren't where they needed to be speed-wise, 32nd.
Yeah, 32nd, and which was a little bit of a dichotomy in the fact that his teammate, Kurt Busch, is on top of the board.
And Jimmy Johnson found himself in the 27th position in practice. How hard is it going to be to recover for qualifying?
Well, I think it depends on what kind of agenda they were on. Obviously, you saw him maybe get down on the splitter going in the corner. Chad Knaus makes some adjustments, make that car better. It's so close there as we watched Dale Jr., who was just inside the top 15 in practice. It's so close. You make a little bit of a gain, you move up 10, 15 spots.
And speaking of moving up the board, Kurt Busch was not very high early in the session, but when things were complete, he was the fastest, and that team does need a bounce back. You look at the top 10 practice speeds, a couple of Chevys at the top, Denny Hamlin there, and how about Carl Edwards in the top 5?
Yeah, Carl Edwards coming off a pretty good run last week at Las Vegas. At one time, there were Fords in the top 5 or 6 spots. At the end, though, Chevrolets jumped in the first 2.
So I have a little cheat sheet here, and it says the track record broken 1 year ago by Kyle Busch, 129.535 miles per hour. Cool temperatures in Thunder Valley. Could we see a new track record today?
I think we absolutely could. We saw Kurt Busch run faster than the track record during that practice session, and these guys are going to throw everything at it here for this qualifying session.
The big storyline of the week, really, in NASCAR circles is the changes that NASCAR made to the rules when it comes to qualifying, allowing the cool boxes. How is that going to change the look? Because the last couple of weeks when it comes to qualifying have been unbelievable.
It's been chaos, but that will be everybody on the racetrack will be running fast laps. No more slow laps. The guys can just plug in the cool-down machines, cool those things off in a matter of moments, and back on the racetrack. We'll see more qualifying runs, I think.
How many times has Darrell Waltrip won at Bristol?
12.
12. Larry McReynolds, he never won there as a crew chief. Mike Joy, he's called many races there. That trio set for Sprint Cup qualifying at Bristol. Take it away, guys.
Thanks, Adam. And Fast Friday, presented by Aleve, continues at Bristol Motor Speedway with NASCAR Sprint Cup knockout qualifying. As you've just heard, a few revisions to the rules on what has become a beautiful day here in Bristol. Don't think the temperature, it might have got to 60, maybe just barely. The track temp up above 70, but winds out of the southwest, light breeze, and mostly sunny. So let's take a look at the format. Remind you, people say, I don't understand qualifying. Well, you need to watch qualifying to understand it, because we'll explain it to you every week. On the shorter tracks under 1.25 miles, and the road courses, round 1 is 30 minutes. Go out as often as you like, as many times as you like, and the fastest doesn't advance to round 2. Starting spots 13 through 36 are set by time, and the provisionals are set. So after round 1, we'll know who goes home. Then, round 2, 10 minutes. Fastest wins the pole, and that determines positions 1 through 12. So if you make it through round 1 and into the top dozen, even if you're not able to go on track for round 2, you're still guaranteed a spot in that top 12. It's exciting. I think the fans like it. We've got a lot of comments and a lot of enthusiasm about knockout qualifying, Darrell.
Yes, we did, and you know what we're going to see today? We're going to see a fight. That's what we're going to see. No, not a fist fight. A fight for getting on the track, getting you some space, getting in a clean lap. You're going to have to fight for everything you get here today. A lot of cars out on the track, a lot of congestions. We saw it in practice. That's going to be the challenge for these teams. They can break the track record here again this weekend if they can get a clean lap. But, Larry, you're going to have to fight for it, buddy.
Well, and I think where that fight will really rear its head is in the latter part of the 2 sessions, because, as you mentioned, Mike, we have 45 drivers here. That means 2's going to be fighting to get in this race. But then I think when we get to the end of that first session, there'll be the fight to get in the top 12, because we always talk about it. A short track qualifying is so important for track position in the beginning, but that ever-important pit selection. So, yeah, fight, especially late in each session.
Yeah, you can't have a fight without some knockout, right?
Let's join Matt Yoakum.
Mike Brad Keselowski in the Miller Lite Ford knocked down the 6th fastest time in practice. So A lot of storylines today have been about guys getting in the marbles, getting loose. Is that one of the bigger concerns on your rocket runs today?
Yeah, I mean, I think everything's a concern. You know, it's a very small track. You got a very limited amount of space to be able to run and get clean air. Even at this speed, clean air is very important. You know, it's probably worth a tenth or so, and a tenth can be the difference between making it and not making it into the top 12 or having the pole in the second round. So, got to get a clean run. That's the biggest thing, and this is a tough place to do that.
All right, thanks, Brad.
Appreciate it.
Krista?
With Jamie McMurray, and we're waiting for your race car, but that's okay. It gives us time to talk. This is going to be probably the craziest qualifying session we possibly have ever seen. Your anticipation and expectations for it?
Well, our McDonald's Chevy was pretty good off the truck. I don't know 100% what to expect here. I like the idea that we have the cool-down units because I think it gives you a more realistic chance of, if you don't make it in, of being able to bump in because you can keep the tape on the grill and you don't run the battery down in the pits. But this will be probably the most exciting qualifying we've had just because the times are so close. And it does seem like tires, even though stickers are probably the best, you possibly can run quicker on a set of scuffs.
I know your secret weapon, too. One of your crew members was carrying Shamrock Shakes.
I saw that. I saw about 20 Shamrock Shakes running around, so that's good. That's fun stuff.
Thanks, Jamie.
And on St. Patrick's Day, they paint the stream here green. Earlier in practice, we had drivers feeling green. Danica Patrick got loose and into Parker Kligerman. Allgaier into the wall. Kyle Busch into the wall. Greg Biffle into the wall. Ricky Stenhouse into the wall. Matt Kenseth into the wall.
It was a wall-banging practice session.
It was, and so we have several backup cars amongst this group. Several changes this week for knockout qualifying. We'll explain after this.
Tonight, for the win! Got it! The Big East semifinals. Seton Hall shocked Villanova and now battles Providence. And Xavier takes on Creighton. Then it's a Pac-12 matchup featuring Stanford versus UCLA. The Big East and Pac-12 semifinals, presented by New York Life. Tonight at 6:30 on Fox Sports 1.
300 Rise of an Empire is the #1 movie in the world. The truly epic 3D will blow you away and leave you screaming for more. 300 Rise of an Empire. Rated R. Now playing.
Pay my bill.
Your account is already paid in full.
Huh. Yeah, in that case, back to vacation mode. Boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and
Voice-enabled bill pay. Just a tap away on the Geico app.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yep, everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that some owls aren't that wise?
Don't forget I'm having brunch with Megan tomorrow.
Who?
Seriously, you've met her like 3 times.
Who?
Geico.
I don't know, I heard this place was good.
Look at them. If they were at a macaroni grill, they would have Romano's original recipes and unlimited wine. Instead, they have unlimited lettuce.
The new chef's tasting menu, now with Romano's original recipes.
Look to the sky, listen to the trees. Out on the river, just a man roaming free, searching for that great taste of 10 calories. Bold country, this is bold country.
Great tasting, bold flavor. 10 calories. Dr. Pepper 10. Taste the bold country. Not a bad way to end the day. The most anticipated rematch in UFC history. March 23rd, only on America's new sports network, Fox Sports 1.
Welcome back to Bristol, Tennessee, and our first look at short track knockout qualifying. Team Penske has won the front row the last 2 weeks in a row. Will that continue? Now, changes in knockout qualifying. Perhaps the biggest one is in the last couple of weeks, we've seen cars circulating around the bottom of the racetrack. Larry, not room to do that here.
Well, and what they've done, they have given them a cool-down unit. And basically what that is, it's a machine that pulls the hot water out of the cooling system and replenishes it with ice-cold water. They're going to be able to cool them down much quicker and get them much colder, which, as Jamie McMurray said, will allow them to keep all the tape on the nose of the car.
And I think make more laps. You'll be able to make more runs because you'll be able to cool the engine back down and go right back out if you want to. But one thing that kind of bugged me is we all been seeing this coming. We knew that they would probably do this eventually. And we all knew that it needed to be done. With the drivers that said we want to cool down units, everybody said, hey, why don't they let them cool them down? And then when NASCAR does, everybody says, I can't believe they give them cool down units. What are they thinking?
All right, let's catch up with last week's pole sitter. Here's Matt.
The Penske cars have been the car to beat in qualifying, knockout qualifying the past 2 weeks. But Bristol, a unique character all to itself. What do you expect over the next hour and a half?
It's harder to know, really, because now you got the new cooldown rules, which is going to change the game a little bit. Then also the way you have us lined up here, in some way we're kind of going out by points, but the opposite of that. So there's not much room actually to back out of your pit stall without blocking someone else out on the pit wall out there. So it's really difficult just to get out onto the racetrack, especially when they drop the flag here and everyone's trying to go at the same time. So I'd much rather be down at that end of pit road, but it is what it is, and our Shell Pennzoil Ford's got some good speed in it. I don't know if it's as fast as we've had the last couple of weeks, but the good thing about this is they give you the opportunity to adjust on it and get it faster. So we'll be able to work on it, make a few runs here, and hopefully be where we've been the last couple of runs or weeks.
As Joey basically told you, it's all about location, location, location.
With the 31 driver, Ryan Newman, before qualifying. Okay, so Bristol is a place where everyone goes as fast as, we go as fast as possible everywhere, but you know what I mean. This is the fastest laps turn, sub 15. You've done it before. What are we going to see today?
It's the quickest lap, time-wise, on the clock.
Exactly. So you knew what I was saying.
You get to see more of it. No, our Quicken Loans.
See how I worked in Quicken?
Hang on. $1 billion bracket challenge Chevrolet is pretty good, actually. I didn't know what to expect. The 13 actually came here and tested and came off the truck really good with Luke and Matt's guidance, and just we'll see. I mean, the track's really marbled up. We're really not using what we qualified here last fall, but the cars are quicker, obviously, with the different tire change and the new rules, so we'll see.
All right. Folks trying to March Madness going to win $1 billion. Ryan Newman's going to try to win a pole.
Thanks, Krista. Now, what Joey spoke of is the way these cars are lined up on pit road. The garage area is so congested here that you don't work on your car. There are no garage stalls. You don't work in, right here in front of your truck, unless, of course, you're the 95 and don't have one of these choice spots along the front straightaway. And there's only 43 of those. But they're in inverse point order. So there's Dale Jr., who is the point leader, but he's way back up in turn number 4, and the pit exit is way down in turn number 1. When NASCAR announced this procedure, they said that cars would go through inspection and line up on pit road in order of blind draw. Well, this week that has changed, and that's going to be tough for some of the fellows at the top of the points, weaving through traffic to get on track.
Yeah, which is a reverse of what we normally are. Normally 88 would be down in turn 1.
There's one of those cool down units. How much is ice a bag here?
I don't know, but that's the star of the show right there this week.
Well, it's a lot.
Hey, it's Mike Hill. Coming up tonight on Fox Sports Live is March Madness. So which bubbles will be burst, and will there be another number 1 seed that goes down? Plus, which highlight will be the one in our Friday night countdown? It's all after Pac-12 hoops. These guys are going to watch. You should too.
It's the huge 29 for all sale. All our 4G phones are just $29 after rebates, including phones from Samsung and Nokia. It's the biggest 4G phone sale of the year, only at Metro PCS. Now with nationwide 4G LTE.
Hey, I noticed your car's not in the driveway.
Yeah, it's in the shop. It's gonna cost me an arm and a leg.
Should have taken it to Midas. Tell you what stuff needs fixing and what stuff can wait. High five!
Brakes, tires, oil, everything.
Fixing a classic is a ritual, a rite of passage in a way of life. You see potential in rusted metal and greasy parts, and the only computer you need is your brain. Time with Dad isn't a drag, and the best sound you ever heard is finally getting the darn thing started. You're not just fixing a car, you're keeping something great alive, because life's just better in a classic. Haggerty, we may sell insurance, but we live classics.
Man, these honey mustard and Swiss chicken sandwiches good or what?
Sonic totally scored with this flavor, man. It's like Swiss.
No, it's swish.
No, the sound a basketball makes going through a net?
Swish is
Swiss.
the sound. Swish is the sound of the ball
It's
going
Swiss.
through the net. Swish.
Okay, why don't we settle this over a game of horse?
Yeah, try horse.
Okay, why don't we settle this over a game of horse?
Did you hear the news? Honey mustard and Swiss chicken sandwiches are here. And start your day with the 99-cent morning drink stop. This is how you Sonic.
NASCAR's best drivers take on the world's fastest half mile. Sprint Cup Racing live from Bristol, Sunday at 12:30 on Fox.
The more you know, the faster it gets. NASCAR.com. Powered by NASCAR.
Getting ready for the green flag for round 1 of knockout qualifying. And here they go. Green flag is out. And some cars are in a hurry to get going. Kyle Busch quickly weaving through traffic just to get past the start-finish line. And Brad Keselowski is out second behind the 23 of Alex Bowman. Looking to put a lap up early. He's not out second. He's way back stuck in line. Now, a lot of that going on.
Pit road speed is monitored. It's 30 miles per hour here, but Vice President of Competition Robin Pemberton told me they don't mind the cows getting out of the barn a little bit. They just want to make sure they don't get completely out of the pasture. They're not just going to make sure they're not running 60 or 70 miles per hour down pit road.
Or they'll have to remind them who holds the branding iron.
There you go.
And Brad Keselowski, it's sort of been a gentleman's agreement at a lot of places, and they were trying, looked like they were trying that here. Marcus Ambrose in the 9 sitting down there holding everybody up. Brad Keselowski in the 2 said, hey, you can sit there if you want to. I'm going on the racetrack. And here goes Justin Allgaier right on by everybody, which is perfectly legal. You do not have to sit there and wait.
So he's going to, it's kind of like boarding the airplane. The guy that stands in line right near the gate and holds everybody up right now, that's Brad. He's waiting till they call his row.
But I know why Justin Allgaier in the 51 went on out there. That's the first laps he's going to make in that race car. That's a backup car from crashing early in the first practice.
Yes, sir.
Kurt Busch, Danica Patrick 1-2, Brian Vickers 3rd, then Quapple, Truex, and Alex Bowman.
Pretty good lap by those folks. Kurt Busch 15:03 and Danica right there 15:15. Nice run for her today.
Brian Vickers, 4 top 10s, 3 of which were top 5s. He and Paul Menard have the record here for active record for consecutive top 10s, that is.
And remember, Danica's in a backup car too, so the team did a nice job of getting that thing turned around for her.
First lap on the clock for Marcus Ambrose. And Brad Keselowski going under the green. Now you see Ambrose very close to Kurt Busch's time.
Sorry, Mike. I was watching Brad Keselowski and he about lost it off turn 2. Sorry.
Ambrose is fastest, 14:98. Keselowski 3rd, so it's Ambrose, Kurt Busch, and Keselowski.
And we saw most drivers in practice picking up on lap 2 and in some cases lap 3.
See what Keselowski runs on this lap. Should be a little quicker, I believe. It is to the top, 14:90.
So Keselowski now on his 2nd lap fastest, then Ambrose, Kurt Busch on his 3rd lap, then Paul Menard, who's just begun a run.
Ambrose slowed down on lap 3.
Kyle Busch now 3rd.
When this is going to get hectic is when we get down near the end of this session and some people are in, some people are out. That's when things are really going to get crazy. Right now they're all kind of working with each other. They're kind of spacing themselves out, trying to get that clean lap, being real gentlemen about it right now.
Top of the chart, Kyle Busch. There's Ricky Stenhouse.
14:88. That's just about, what, 5/10 off the record?
7/100ths away.
Yeah, just keep an eye on this right here. When that gets down under about 3 or 4 minutes, I guarantee you panic will start to set in.
Like a gold rush.
So 12th is the final transfer spot to the 2nd round. That's where Justin Allgaier is right now. And 36th is the bubble. Austin Dillon on a hot lap.
Yeah, Austin.
Boy, he had a bobble at turn number 3 with traffic.
Yeah, Ryan Trix, you're going to see him run up on the back of him. This is coming off turn 2 down the back straightaway. And this was the big fear, not the big fear, but this was going to be the challenge of doing this on a half-mile racetrack.
And that cost him a lot of time. He had to cut it down to the bottom. The car got loose on him, wasn't able to pick the throttle up.
Hello, Newman. Ryan Newman is fastest, 14:86. We are 5/100ths off the track record. Quicken Loan Chevy to the top, followed by Kyle Busch and Keselowski. And now it's Tony Stewart on the bubble, on the transfer spot, 12th. Not anymore. Brian Vickers as Stewart jumps up to 11th.
This concrete surface just not been good to Tony Stewart of late. His last 10 starts here, only 1 top 10 finish. You could see him bobble and go way up the racetrack right there.
Yeah, he drove the thing down into 3, trying to make a little bit better lap, and they got loose with him, wiggled up the track, and it cost him a lot of time.
Carl Edwards and Tony out for a run. Tiger, that is.
This could be great. Just look right here. I think it's
second by 3 1/1000ths. See if he picks up on lap 2. Most drivers have.
That's kind of what I like about this. Here comes Jimmy Johnson. He's on lap 2. See what he can do. But I like this because you get a second chance. You know how many times Larry, we come in and say, "Man, if I could just do that over again."
Johnson is 4th. 25 minutes to go in round 1 of knockout qualifying. Ryan Newman fastest.
The faces have changed. The cars, the numbers have changed. The speed, the technology, and the scale have changed.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
The heroes and the villains have changed.
Who's gonna win it?
Everything has changed.
I mean, this is the greatest day of my life.
Nothing has changed.
Some don't know that Jaguar is one of the fastest growing luxury automotive brands. But they certainly do. The XF from Jaguar. Oh, it's good to be bad.
Visit your local Jaguar retailer during the Mark Your Territory Spring Sales event.
You'll always find fresh values at Subway, where this March, the Meatball Marinara is our featured $5 footlong. Try it with peppers, onions, and melty mozzarella, along with our signature marinara sauce. This March only, Subway, eat fresh.
I don't know, I heard this place was good.
Look at them. If they were at a macaroni grill, they would have Romano's original recipes and unlimited wine. Instead, they have unlimited lettuce.
The new chef's tasting menu, now with Romano's original recipes.
Boston, St. Patrick's Day. Someone's getting smashed. Golden Boy Night at the Fights, Monday at 9 on Fox Sports 1.
Cole Witt on track right now. He had some good laps in practice earlier this morning. He is presently 7th.
Cole Witt's car looks good. I watched him all through practice. He's got a nice line. I've never seen the car out of shape, and that's a nice run for him there. He's 7th quick right now at a 15:10.
Daryl, I'm hearing a lot of drivers complaining about being tight, not turning. It's a lot more overcast now than it was during that practice earlier today.
But look at the track, Larry. It's gotten a lot of rubber buildup on it.
Yeah.
As that rubber builds up, as you know, then the car's going to tighten up a little bit, not going to want to turn quite as good.
Danica Patrick just bumped off the last transfer spot by Paul Menard. And here's Joey Logano, last week's pole sitter, who right now is 8th.
Got a little loose getting into 3, but this could be a little bit better lap for him. Let's see what we got. It's a lot better lap for him. That's a 14.83 to the top. Right now, Ricky Stenhouse in the 17 car at a 15.07 is on the bubble.
Another thing, being able to cool these cars down will keep from drivers having to run around on the apron. We just saw Matt Kenseth coming in on the apron, but we think that's why some of the drivers like Casey Kane last week at Las Vegas was having flat tires, having to cool their car down around the apron.
And Larry, last week it was so dangerous. I mean, a couple of times I just about, my jaw dropped. They came so close to running over each other. Cars that were on qualifying runs, cutting down on the apron in front of cars that were cooling down. That's when I think NASCAR realized they got to do something.
A.J. Allmendinger 11th. That sends Matt Kenseth to the last transfer spot. And Austin Dillon 1 away. Joey Logano is fastest. Ryan Newman, Carl Edwards, Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson are the fast 5. 23 minutes to go. And that is Clint Boyer versus the current pole sitter, Joey Logano. Fastest qualifier, let's say, not pole sitter. We don't determine that until round 2.
Yeah, Boyer not too good there, 20th at a 15-15.
And that's not good enough to transfer, Darrell. That's 20th.
Yeah, that's over
work to do.
3/10 off the pole.
See if this lap's any better. A lot of guys have picked up.
He picked it up to 8th. Yeah, 14.96.
So again, that's just kind of what I'm liking about with this kind of qualifying session. You can come in, work on the car, cool it down, go make another run.
Kevin Harvick to make his first run. 30 drivers have posted times so far. We have 45 cars here.
Boy, every car I watch coming off a corner, particularly turn 2, they got a little wobble to them. Everybody's really working hard getting the car off the corner without it getting loose.
Now that time is Harvick versus Kurt Busch, who right now is in the last transfer spot. Teammates.
Looks good in 3 and 4. I think he picked up a little time there, but he lost a little off of 2.
Now I slowed down just a little bit, so he's still 15th right now in that 4 car.
Yeah, he's fighting the car pretty good off turn 2 over there. The thing just not under him real stable at off on corner exit over there.
And that's the thing about these times at this half-mile racetrack. We might end up seeing, when it's all said and done, the top 30 drivers separated by less than 0.3 of a second.
Here's a guy that might be pretty good. Denny Hamlin in the 11 car. He's going to. He had a quick time in practice. He's up to second on that lap right there, 15.85, and he's quitting, but that's second quick.
And that's with only 1 lap.
I think he has a strategy, Mike. He might be coming in, cool it down, and say, just the air, and let me try that again.
Interesting. Now 34 drivers have posted times. When we get to 36th, that will be the bubble for this first round.
A.J. Allmendinger sitting on the bubble right now in the 47 car at a 15-12. That is fast to be sitting on the bubble.
Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Newman are fastest so far as they cool down Clint Boyer.
Tonight, the Big East semifinals. Seton Hall versus Providence and Xavier versus Creighton. Then it's a Pac-12 semifinal matchup. Stanford versus UCLA. The Big East and Pac-12 semifinals tonight on Fox Sports 1.
Like a sound you hear that lingers in your ear, but you can't forget from
The Ram 1500. The first ever back-to-back Motor Trend Truck of the Year. And best-in-class fuel economy. Giving you almost as many options as, well, California. Right now, well-qualified lessees get the 2014 Ram 1500 Express Quad Cab 4x2 for $229 a month.
If you owe back taxes to the IRS, listen to this important message. The IRS seizes bank accounts every day. The IRS puts levies on paychecks and bank accounts every day. If you owe the IRS at least $10,000 in back taxes, we can help. Let our qualified CPAs and tax negotiators go to work for you. We can help stop collection calls. We will contact the IRS on your behalf, make arrangements, and reduce the amount you owe if you qualify. The consultation is free. Call Maximum Tax Resolution now.
I feel like every month I'm shelling out more money for less stuff. Gas, groceries, even the phone company. Those guys charge a lot. So I switched to Xfinity Voice, and now I save a bundle. Plus, I get unlimited nationwide calling, and we can text using our home phone number, which saves us even more.
Nice. More doesn't have to cost more. Switch to Xfinity Voice from Comcast for just $19.99 a month for 6 months and save big over the phone company. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
They say Mike Francesa's a reasonable guy.
The Yankees have lost their flair for the dramatic.
The Mike Francesa Show premieres March 24th on Fox Sports 1.
The more you know, the faster it gets. NASCAR.com. Powered by NASCAR.
Kyle Larson, the rookie. One of 8 on the tour this year. He is in 21st at 15:10. He needs a 10th to make that 12th final transfer spot.
we're showing it keeps going well. Let's see if he did it. He's 12th right now. 12th.
Just barely on the edge.
Yep, he's in.
For Kyle Larson by 100th and a half.
Yep, he's in, and that knocked A.J. Allmendinger out. So,
but it's only temporary.
Larson in right now, and here goes Dale Jr. Here's the 66 car, and Dale Jr. coming off 4 to take a lap.
Now, Joe Nemechek is on the bubble. 36th. Right now, he's the final driver who would qualify on time as Dale Jr. goes out for a run. Matt?
Mike, to avoid that mad rush that you described earlier, Steve Letarte kept Jr. on pit road, telling him, we're expecting to make 2 to 3 runs. No sense of urgency here. With a cool-down machine, we can go at our own pace.
It has changed the game, certainly.
Well, we have 5 drivers out there right now, and they're spaced out pretty evenly.
Dale Jr. up to 9th. 1495. That's about 12 100ths off the fastest qualifier so far.
Yep.
And here's Casey Kane.
Larson's out now, and Cole Witt in.
Yep, Cole Witt is on the edge. He is 12th right now. That's the last transfer spot, and there's the differential.
Went green on Casey Kane. Expect him to have a good weekend. Finished 1st and 2nd in the 2 races here last year.
Yeah, he's going to be kind of my guy, I think, this weekend.
And Kane knocks Jeff Gordon out of the top dozen. Jamie McMurray is now on the edge. And back at the bubble, 36th right now is Dave Blaney. So here's Casey Mears.
So what? Jeff Gordon just jumped up there with that run to 2nd behind Joey Logano in that 24 car.
We're flirting with that track record, guys, but we haven't gotten there yet. We're a couple hundredths off of it. We're at an 83. We need an 81.
Casey Mears and his 13 team, they'd been pretty quick in practice, came up here and tested a few weeks ago.
And they move Travis Quapple to the bubble. Mike McDowell clocks in 18th.
Larry, I think with all the changes and the new tire they have here and the front end settings and all that these guys had to deal with, I think coming here and testing was a pretty good idea.
Especially considering how many veteran drivers we are seeing in backup cars.
No kidding.
Here's Justin Allgaier, and he is a rookie in a backup car. Qualifying session was the first laps that this car has made today after he got into the turn 1 wall on lap 1. And here's Greg Biffle, who found the wall coming off turn 4 in practice.
But the good news for Justin Allgaier, he at least found the top 36 with that run right there. He was outside before that run.
Allgaier now 31st. Here is Biffle trying to break in. Yeah, he is 9th. He's in the top dozen, and that moves Dale Earnhardt Jr. to the edge of the paper, 12th.
I think Greg knew that was a good lap.
That's all I got, man. I hope it's enough.
Now Paul Menard. Menard is 25th, so he's in the show, but not in a position to advance to the next round at 15:05.
Yeah, this is no good either. He's got in pretty good to 1, but he couldn't keep it down, and he knew that was going to kill his lap.
Ryan Truex is 38th, 2 away from the bubble. Right now it's Brian Vickers on the bubble in 36th.
There's Parker Kligerman in the 30 car. Soon as the track opened for practice, he and Danica Patrick got together. You'll see on the right side, they repaired that 30 car.
Right now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is on the edge in knockout qualifying. Let's go to Mike Hill, Fox Sports News Desk.
All right, Mike, I got 3 things you need to know. Fox Sports 1 NFL insider Mike Garafolo reports defensive tackle B.J. Raji agrees to re-sign with the Packers. It's a 1-year deal at $4 million. Reports out of New York says a deal is being finalized that will bring the ACC tournament to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn in 2017 and 2018. And later, can Seton Hall continue their unlikely run in the Big East tournament? Find out as the Garden Party continues at 6:30 Eastern right here on Fox Sports 1.
I don't know, I heard this place was good.
Look at them. If they were at a macaroni grill, they would have Romano's original recipes and unlimited wine. Instead, they have unlimited lettuce.
The new chef's tasting menu, now with Romano's original recipes.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon. Oh, Ralph! And this is Test Drive 2.
No way this is happening. This can't not be happening.
I'm going to be playing the cab driver.
What is he talking about? What did he just say?
No, get out of the cab. We can put the windows down. No, sir. Please.
I can't go back, man.
Sir!
Ooh, what's that?
that?
It's a Flatiza. It's new from Subway.
What's a Flatiza?
I'm patching you in.
The latest invention from Subway, the new Flatiza. Crispy flatbread loaded with mozzarella. Now get 2 for $5. Subway, eat fresh.
Directions to the nearest Subway?
When you switch to Sprint's new family plan, friends are like family. So who's going to be in yours?
Let's get a sound guy and some roadies.
But the more people you add, the lower the rate.
How about Sketchy Jeff? He gets billed separately, right?
Get up to 10 separate bills, and everyone gets unlimited talk, text, and 1 gig of data for as low as $25 a month each.
Cool. One more.
You need more beard.
That'll do.
And for a limited time, when you switch to Sprint and join a family, you get $100 back.
Ripped into left field, back at the wall, and this one's gone. That should end it.
Talk about a hitting machine.
Greg Biffle back in the pits, and those two hoses cool down system.
Well, NASCAR was on the goal of still not allowing the teams to raise the hood. They just feel like there's too many things that could go on. That's the cow flaps or the hood flaps for aero reasons. If a car spins backwards and there's 2 quick disconnects right there, they hook those hoses in. It takes that hot water out, puts cold water in the cooling system. And this is just letting fresh air get in there to the system here on Ryan Newman's number 31 car.
Yeah, that's probably more for the brakes and stuff.
Tell me that's not real wood.
I don't think so, because they will not allow any type of a fan across the wall.
Austin Dillon, 23rd, at a 15:04. He needs a 1/10 of a second to knock Dale Earnhardt Jr. off the edge and advance to the next round, but Dillon's not going to pick up here.
Not quite there.
You need a 14.95 to break into the top dozen. That's where Dale Earnhardt Jr. is. Danica Patrick was in that top 12 earlier. Currently, she's 34th. Her boss, Tony Stewart, is on the bubble. 36th, final driver to make it into the show on time. Michael Annett now 31st.
Yeah, back to Danica Patrick. We sat down and chatted with her a little bit while ago, and she said, I know I have to figure out how to qualify better.
Well, Larry, she had a 15 on her 15-15 on her first run, and she just ran a 16-15-16 on that run. But they need to improve the car a little bit for her to make it into the top 12. I thought they might be able to do that, but apparently not.
Kurt Busch trying to move up from 18th right now, and does. He moves up onto the edge. He is 12th. And that knocks out Dale Earnhardt Jr.
This will be a better lap, I believe, if he can get through 3 and 4. He got a little. He had good speed off of 2. Let's see if he can improve here. Looked pretty good.
Slowed down just a little bit, but he becomes the 16th driver to run in the 14-second bracket.
Jamie McMurray is 15th at a 14.97. He needs a couple of hundredths to knock Kurt Busch off the edge and make the top dozen. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is 18th right now.
Yeah, he another guy that got up off the bottom there a little bit off of turn 2, and we've seen so many guys spin out and crash over there. He knew he was in trouble, so he shut it down.
Now David Rudiman is 1 spot up from the bubble, so right now he's in the show. At a 15-15, a 15-16, Tony Stewart is the bubble. Dave Blaney needs to improve in that 77.
He has to go. He has to get to that top 36. They have not qualified for a show yet in 2014.
But it's just hard to imagine that you're running low 15s, 15 10s and O's, and you're not in the top 12 or in the show. That's incredible.
Clint Boyer is 2 spots away from the edge. He is 14th.
Now, we've seen this the first 2 weeks. Of our top dozen drivers right now, only 2 of them have been out there and made a second run, and that was Greg Biffle and Kurt Busch.
2 drivers have not yet made an attempt, and they are teammates. It's Front Row Motorsports' David Reagan and David Gilliland. Neither of them have been on track yet in this session as Boyer lays down a 15.09. Logano is fastest at 14.83. Brad Keselowski, his teammate, is 8th right now. Krista?
Mike, look for Marcus Ambrose to go back out there and make one more run. They're talking right now on the radio, and Drew Blickensderfer, his crew chief, telling him it's going to be all panic in the last 5 minutes. We want to make a clean run before that panic sets in.
But just remember, you can't change tires. So the least amount of laps that you can run in this 30-minute session is going to pay big dividends in the final 10-minute session.
David Rudiman has now been pushed to the bubble by David Gilliland, who runs his first laps of the day. That means right now, Tony Stewart, his bubble burst. He's out.
Boy, over there at Front Row Motorsports, if they say the word David, they're going to get trampled. Every one of the drivers named David here this weekend.
Reagan, Rudiman, and Gilliland.
Yes, sir. That's David against all the Goliaths.
Martin Truex on track. Joey Logano is fastest. Kurt Busch is on the edge, and David Rudiman is on the bubble.
Tonight, for the win! Got it! The Big East semifinals. Seton Hall shocked Villanova and now battles Providence. And Xavier takes on Creighton. Then it's a Pac-12 matchup featuring Stanford versus UCLA. The Big East and Pac-12 semifinals, presented by New York Live. Tonight at 6:30 on Fox Sports 1.
We had the Honda Accord before. And now with the Ford Fusion, amazing. It had literally everything that he wanted.
I sat in it for the first time and I put my hands on the wheel. I was just like, wow, this is it. You have the power, but you have the fuel economy. That's what EcoBoost does.
Tried the parking assist.
I really don't know how to parallel park, so a feature like this is incredible.
He was just so excited about it.
It's awesome to look at and it gets great fuel economy. Like, what more could you ask for?
Those little things still get you. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment is right. Cialis is also the only daily ED tablet approved to treat symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any allergic reactions like rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a free 30-tablet trial.
Crunch, muncha, crunch, muncha, crunch, muncha, crunch, muncha. Fritos on my sub.
The new Fritos Chicken Enchilada Melt from Subway. It's the chicken enchilada with the gotta-have-it crunch. Subway, eat fresh.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know Pinocchio was a bad motivational speaker?
I look around this room and I see nothing but untapped potential. You have potential. You have... Oh, boy.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The most anticipated rematch in UFC history. March 23rd, only on America's new sports network, Fox Sports 1.
11 minutes left in round one of knockout qualifying. Joey Logano is fastest, and you see Kurt Busch is right on the edge of the page.
He's to the good by 6 1/1000ths of a second right now. Dale Earnhardt Jr. in that 88 is 13.
Not a lot of breathing room.
No, but I tell you, I think if I'm sitting there right now, I'd be pretty comfortable. It's going to be hard for these guys to go back out and look like pick up on their second run. Biffle did it, but I haven't seen very many guys be able to go back out and make a second run and gain speed.
David Reagan will be the last car to lay down a qualifying lap. When he crosses the line, then every driver will have posted a time, but Reagan is only 40th. Tony Stewart remains on the bubble for now.
Yeah, these tires, I mean, they have their limits, and you might be able to get a couple of good runs out of them, but that's it. And once you start going in and out, I just think it's you waste your time.
And Reagan picks up nicely, 18th. So he's solidly in the show with that lap. 10 minutes to go in round one of knockout qualifying. Kyle Larson trying to improve on 19th.
But before we went to break, you saw Joey Logano. He's in the car. He's ready to make another run. They've cooled it down. He's got the monitor there. But I'm like Darrell, with 9.5 minutes to go, still sitting on top, he probably will not have to make another run in this session.
He's got to be really happy he did that, and he had a couple laps on his tires right now. He's ready to go into the shootout.
Kyle Larson just 6.5 100ths of a second, and that's the difference between 12th and 19th. Just 6 100ths of a second.
It's just hard to get the grip in the tires and everything once you've been out a couple of times. They don't like those heat cycles.
9 drivers in the 1490s right now. Now Justin Allgaier is 30th. He's got a little breathing room. Danica Patrick is now 36th and on the bubble with a 15:15. Kevin Harvick, he is 27th after after 2 runs.
Harvick's trying, I tell you, he is digging up off 2, but the car just isn't under him. It's just not solid to be able to make a real fast lap. Let's see what he gets here.
He's not going to get there, DW. Right now, he's still 27th.
Yeah, the car just doesn't look that good on corner exit. It's just got a little wiggle to it.
Not a great day for Stuart Haas in round 1 of knockout qualifying. Here's the 66 for Joe Nemechek. And Joe is 44th of 45 right now. He is trying to get to 15:15 where Danica Patrick sits on the bubble. No, 15:90.
Yeah, you know, and qualifying here is, as we always say, it's so critical. You got the front straightaway pit, you got the back straightaway pit, and buddy, you get mired back in traffic here and you're pitting on the back straightaway, it makes for a long afternoon.
AJ Allmendinger is 21st right now. He needs 7 100ths to knock Kurt Busch off the edge.
Yeah, to my point earlier, right now, Joey Logano's 14:83. I look back at Mike Lynette, 34th of 15:12, less than 3/10 of a second.
Matt Kenseth got in the wall, but I think the car was okay. Let's see if he can do anything in this lap.
He's 12th, DW.
He
picks it up into the top 12.
He knocked Kurt Busch out.
Yep, Kurt Busch gets knocked off the edge and out of the transfer spots. Matt Kenseth. Now he's on the edge with Joey Logano fastest.
Sunday. It's a short track thrill ride as the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series storms into Bristol. Dale Jr., Jimmy Johnson, and NASCAR's best grind it out on the world's fastest half mile. It all starts Sunday with Race Day on Fox Sports 1 at 11:30, followed by Sprint Cup Racing live from Bristol at 12:30 on Fox.
We've all been there, at sea in a white squall, being bashed around like a piñata at a kid's birthday party. At which point you may find yourself asking, how do I keep my hair looking great? Axe recommends the Messy Look. Plunge a finger into a tub of Axe Messy Look paste. Mix, rake, spin. And that's the Messy Look. Mind the hair? New Axe Messy Paste, the easy way to superior style.
It's the huge 29 for all sale. All our 4G phones are just $29 after rebates, including phones from Samsung and Nokia. It's the biggest 4G phone sale of the year, only at Metro PCS. Now with nationwide 4G LTE.
Away. Is the smell of salt in the air. It's the sound a seashell makes. Away is a place that's beyond your imagination, yet well within your means. Find your away. For a dealer in the RV that's right for you, visit GoRVing.com.
Great. This is the last thing I need.
Seriously? Let's take this puppy over to Midas and get you some of that good old Midas touch. You know what? I'll drive. I really didn't think this through.
Brakes, tires, oil, everything.
They say Mike Francesa's a reasonable guy.
The Yankees have lost their flair for the dramatic.
The Mike Francesa Show premieres March 24th on Fox Sports 1.
7 minutes to go in knockout qualifying. Joey Logano, Jeff Gordon are fastest. Denny Hamlin ran just 1 lap. It was third quick. Ryan Newman, Carl Edwards, the fast 5.
So, like, what can I do? I'm not in. I need to make a better run, but I've used up my tires. What can I do?
Yeah, all they can do is maybe make an adjustment with wedge or track bar that will help the balance of the car. That's about it, or some air pressure changes.
And then pat the driver on the back and say, you can do it.
You can do this.
You can do it.
Well, let's see what Austin Dillon can do. He is 26th right now. There's his time against Matt Kenseth, who is on the edge in 12th, the final transfer spot.
Just try so hard, and it seems like at this track, I know how it always is. The harder you try, it seems like the slower you go. When you can go out there and relax and float the thing into the corner without overdriving it and get back in the throttle early, not have to wiggle up off the corner, that makes a good lap. But man, it's hard to do.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. in this 88 needs a couple of spots. He's 14th right now, but you see right now he's still in the red to Matt Kenseth in that 20 car.
And the car looks so good. I mean, that car is solid. It's not doing anything wrong. It's not pushing up or anything. It's just doesn't have the grip to make the speed it needs.
15:09. He picked up a 1/100th. Not enough. Matt?
All right, Brian, that was a 10 and an 09.
Mike, they made an adjustment to the car. It was too tight on the first run, and Letarte and Jr. were waiting for more haze that was covering up the sun, hoping for more grip. They didn't get it.
Yeah, that was his second time out on the racetrack, as we now are closing in on less than 5 minutes to go.
And I guarantee you the end of pit road is getting ready to get a little bit crazy, a little hectic down here on pit out.
All right, the bubble position 36. That's Danica Patrick 15:15. Brian Vickers of 15:17. Just 2/100ths of a second away, but not enough.
Yeah, Danica's in line to go out. She's about 3 cars from heading back out on the racetrack. Vickers, I don't see his car. I'm not sure if he's
Here he comes by, Darrell. He's in turn 2.
Got you.
And he's done, but he is no faster. So Brian Vickers may need to lean on a provisional to make the field. Will Patrick's bubble position hold up? Here's Tony Stewart. He is not yet in the show.
Yeah, he's back in the 38th spot right now. That lap there is slower than his fastest lap at a 15:22.
It's impressive just to see some of these guys go in and out 2 or 3 times and almost duplicate their best lap. That means they made the right adjustments in the car, but they just didn't have the speed to start with.
4 minutes remain in round 1. And right now, Tony Stewart is in danger of having to fall back on a provisional to make the show.
Yeah, we've had several drivers that's been able to make 3 runs in this session. Actually, Dave Blaney, we talked about him needing to get in. He's made 4. But of our top dozen, you only have Matt Kenseth and Greg Biffle that's made more than 1 run.
I'm kind of liking that Hamlin strategy.
1 lap, 1 and
lap,
done.
and get on top the hauler.
And he's 3rd, and now you can watch.
Well, and that preserves his tires for
yeah.
round 2.
I'd say he's the guy to keep an eye on. Of course, Joey only ran 2 laps, and Gordon only ran a couple laps. So those first 5 or 6 guys up there, they're in pretty good shape.
David Reagan solid in 19th. Here's Danica, who's 15:15, is the bubble right now. 36th fastest. Everyone from David Rudiman on back has to look to a provisional or head home. And that lap for Danica, 2/10 slower than her best lap.
This one's not going to be much better because she really bobbled down there in turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, just trying so hard. It just drove in the corner really hard, and the car just wouldn't stick.
2.5 minutes, and still she holds on to the bubble by 1,000th of a second.
And remember, it's kind of a tough place for her. She wrecked her primary car right off. This is a backup car, and you sure don't want to go out there trying to pick up a few hundreds and have another incident.
At the other end of the scale, Matt Kenseth is on the edge. He is 12th in the final spot to advance as Paul Menard tries to improve on a 15:05. It looks like Earnhardt wants one more run. 2 minutes to go right now.
It's almost like Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Steve Letarte, they're not worried about the pole. They're just trying to crack that top 12 because they're going to make a 3rd run here.
Remember, the fastest lap of practice earlier was set in the final few seconds of practice.
Kyle Larson was given another go there. Just almost identical to what his best lap was, but just not quite enough to move up.
8 cars on the track, a couple more in line.
I did think that Martin Truex, I watched him on his first run, and his car was not very good, but they made some changes in it. It looks a little better.
And now we're down, Darrell, to the final minute and a quarter.
Not there.
Kurt Busch 1 spot away by 1,000th of a second. He's trying to knock Matt Kenseth off the edge and out of that final transfer spot. No, 15:06, not enough.
Well, Marcus Ambrose and Dale Jr. and Casey Kane are sitting down here at the end of pit road, but I'd get going. Only about 30 seconds left in this session here. I think you need to get moving, boys.
Here's Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's trying to get up to speed, so he should get this run in.
Once the flags wave, you only get to cross the start-finish line once. And the starter has the red flag in hand. You'll see it in just about 30 seconds from now.
You know what Ambrose is doing? He's sitting there waiting to see you. He's 9th right now. If he should get bumped out, he could make a quick run.
Keselowski's doing the same thing, staying way back down pit road, but he's ready if he needed to be.
Casey Kane, they're just sitting there just in case.
They're not going to have time. There's only 19 seconds left. That's not enough time to start a lap. So Kenseth on the edge, Patrick on the bubble, 10 seconds to go. Here comes Stewart. Trying to knock Danica Patrick off the bubble spot of 36th. No, 15:23. And the flags are waving, and we are done with round 1. Joey Logano fastest, Jeff Gordon second, Matt Kenseth on the edge will advance, and Danica Patrick secures the bubble, 36th, and the final spot to qualify on time.
That little 22 car, doesn't matter where we would go, he's fast.
Yes, he is.
I mean, he's just carving his ball club apart right now.
Big strikeout for the left-hander.
Same thing each and every inning.
Every night when I fall asleep, I dream of flying. I dream of being an athlete. Being a king. I dream of being a knight in shining armor. Being fearless. A good guy. A hero. Being bad. Really bad. I dream of being a 10. I dream of mayhem, chaos, light, thunder. I dream of donuts. That's my dream. That's my dream. Mine too. I dream of being a race car driver.
Being out here in the shop, working on cars, this was what I wanted to do, no doubt about it. Wyotech, it's very professional. They teach you all the things that you're going to run into. There's no wasted time. Everything that you could possibly need. It's an awesome experience. Once I graduated, got hired on the spot, started the next day, and I've been there ever since. I wouldn't trade my career for anything. My name is Dylan. My school's Wyotech.
Make your passion your career. Turn pro at Wyotech. 1-800-882-5645.
Do you have an idea for an invention or new product? Brian and Alice Jagosh, the inventors of the halftime drill driver, did. InventHelp licensed their invention to a leading as-seen-on-TV company, and it's now selling nationwide. Our clients made a financial gain, but this is just an individual success. Only a small number of inventions are licensed and sold in stores. InventHelp can help you try to submit your idea to companies. Call for free information.
For your free inventor's information, call 800-448-1274.
Back when we had satellite, we had to pay for more movies. 5 movies is like $25 a month. That's $300 a year. Poof, gone. But with Xfinity On Demand, we can watch thousands of movies and shows for no extra cost. We probably watched about 50 just this month.
More doesn't have to cost more. Upgrade to Digital Preferred for $9.99 more a month for 12 months and get over 80 additional channels and even more of your favorite movies and TV shows with Xfinity On Demand. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
12 drivers will move on to round 2 of knockout qualifying, and only 3 drivers have done it in every one of the 3 weeks so far. Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, and Jimmy Johnson are the only drivers to make the final round. All 3 weeks, there's Matt Kenseth right on the edge of the paper. David Rudiman by 1/1000th of a second.
Boy.
Fails to qualify, does not have a provisional available, so he is out. And Dave Blaney's team fails to make the show. Krista?
With Kurt Busch just missing the cut for that next round, but you knew the track got a little tighter. You talked about needing the car freed up. Was that the difference, do you think, maybe, if you just had the car a little freer?
Oh, when you're measuring things by thousandths of a second, it's so tight. And mistakes we made, we went out too early in that run. And then this is leaps and bounds ahead of where we've been with Phoenix and Vegas with our front splitter control. So, and then we just came in real low on some of our other items. You know, we ran a 78 in practice, and we backed that up with a 95. That's not what you need to do.
Thanks, Kurt.
So Kurt Busch, by 1/1000th of a second, will start 13th on Sunday and does not advance. So we'll get ready for knockout qualifying round 2 in Bristol.
Tonight, for the win, get it! The Big East semifinals. Seton Hall shocked Villanova and now battles Providence. And Xavier takes on Creighton. Then it's a Pac-12 matchup featuring Stanford versus UCLA. The Big East and Pac-12 semifinals, presented by New York Life. Tonight at 6:30 on Fox Sports 1.
America's talking about our best pizza yet, the all-new Hand Tossed. Well, we hear you, America, and to return the love, we're bringing back our 10 any pizza deal. For a limited time, that's any pizza, any crust, any toppings, even specialties for $10. Pizza Hut, make it great.
Some don't know that Jaguar is one of the fastest growing luxury automotive brands. But they certainly do. The XF from Jaguar. Oh, it's good to be bad.
Visit your local Jaguar retailer during the Mark Your Territory Spring Sales event.
Multi-million-dollar athletes can afford almost anything. But what they really want, welcome back, sir, is what they never stop loving. McDonald's dollar menu at breakfast. With options like the sausage McMuffin and the McCafe coffee, they can pick their favorites and share the wealth. There's something for everyone to love at McDonald's.
Huh. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yep. Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know the ancient pyramids were actually a mistake?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I don't know, I heard this place was good.
Look at them. If they were at a macaroni grill, they would have Romano's original recipes and unlimited wine. Instead, they have unlimited lettuce. The new chef's tasting menu, now with Romano's original recipes.
What a team! What a ride! What a night!
Welcome back to Bristol. Knockout qualifying round 2, almost ready to go. And before it does, in front of a nice crowd on hand here, let's check with Matt Yoakum.
Mike, Steve Letarte summed it up best. You could almost throw a blanket over the top 18 or 20 cars here. It's so close. Junior, what did you guys fight most on your runs?
Well, the first run was the one you needed to get it done with, and we were just too tight. So we wanted to get the car comfortable, and you know, had all that nationwide practice in between, and just you know, kind of overshot the track a little bit. But the track probably tightened up some as well. But you know, we'd like to be in that last 12 going for it and trying to better our position. But we were struggling earlier today, so we've been picking up a little bit at a time, and look forward to tomorrow to be able to get in race trim and even improve on the car more.
Stellar start to the season. Not many drivers have the opportunity to say they have a chance to tie Richard Petty in anything, and another top 2 finish on Sunday, you can do that. What's that mean to you to be in that position?
Well, I just like to be able to win here. It's a great racetrack, and you know, just a lot of history here. Been coming here as a little kid. This is my favorite racetrack to come to when I was little. Just fell in love with it a long time ago. So love racing here. Enjoy enjoy the racing that we do here. So it meant a lot, to be in the same sentence with Richard Petty in any kind of statistical category or accomplishment. It's a great thing.
Thank you, Junior.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. You saw the updated statistic there. 4 drivers before Dale Jr. had started the season with 3 top 2 finishes.
Yeah, these cow flaps, they're so big. They're a lot bigger than they used to be. And the teams, all they really had to do, Larry, you know this, is plumb the cool down. That's usually right up by the front end of the radiator. If they open the hood and plug in right by the radiator, they just ran some hoses back here to these cow flap area, and now they just put the water in and it shoots down to the radiator. I don't think that was a big change, do you?
What I saw in that first session, it was a great change is what it was, because we didn't have drivers riding around the apron. But I talked to Alan Gustafson, Jeff Gordon's crew chief. He said, Larry, even at the higher speed racetrack like Las Vegas, riding around 3 or 4 laps, the coolest we could get it down to was about 170, 180 degrees Fahrenheit. He said, hooking this machine up, in about 4 or 5 minutes, we can get it down to 70 or 80 degrees, because the big problem was how cool you wasn't getting it, is how hot it was getting at the end of a run at Las Vegas and Phoenix, which was close to 300 degrees.
Well, unintended consequences. What if you wanted to cool it down during the race? What if you blew all the water out, or it got too hot, or you want to put tape on it, and you want to cool it down during the race? You could do it now.
Well, 2 things came into play here. Robin Pembert, NASCAR's vice president of competition, says we do not want teams raising the hood between these sessions. We're not going to allow that because we don't want the teams making adjustments. Tape on the grill is the other. The easy solution, and we talked about it over the last couple of weeks, don't allow them any tape on the grill. Well, that affects downforce, and that would surely reduce the chance of setting any new track records, to quote Tom Carnegie, the great Indianapolis PA announcer, like we like to do. And certainly that's good for headlines. So NASCAR, I think, has come up with a great solution that takes care of Robin Pemberton's concern. It takes care of the team's concerns, and it allows these cars to run extremely fast.
Yeah, I was talking to Robin Pemberton, vice president of competition, and you see this grill area right here. It's a little different on a Toyota, a Chevrolet, and a Ford. So you didn't want to give a team an advantage because of what make, or a disadvantage. The other thing he felt like it was going to do is open up Pandora's box on what teams would start doing with grill screen.
Let me see if I can get Marcus and see what his strategy was there. Hey, Marcus Ambrose, it's a DW. You got a copy, buddy?
DW, how you doing?
Hey, good afternoon, mate. What was your strategy there? You sitting down at the end of pit road. What were you? I thought you were going to make a run, but then you decided not to. What was your strategy?
Well, I didn't really have one. If we got beaten, I was going to go back out. That's pretty much what we were working on there. We could see that a lot of guys on their second and third run weren't going as fast as their first. So we were somewhat confident that we wouldn't need to run again. We just wanted to be down there in case we did.
Buddy, you made a lot of improvements in that car. When you first hit the track, I said, well, they brought that Vegas car here, but you got her going pretty good in the top 12. What do you think? You got a shot at the pole?
I think we do. Myself and Keselowski, we went out early. We went out in the sun, and a lot of guys went faster there in the clouds. So I think we got something for them. I don't know. This track's been good for us. It's been good for me in the past as well. So we want to make our season count from this day forward. We've got a good chance here to run really well here on Sunday. We want to make sure we've got a good starting spot.
Yeah, roger that. I remember one race here you were driving for Michael, I think it was, had a cylinder, lost his cylinder, and you still ran in the top 10.
Yeah, we did. I think we were third and fourth at the cylinder and only dropped down to about 7th or 8th. It actually probably helped the handling. It slowed me down just a little bit to get through the center of the corner better. And I learned a lesson that day, that's for sure, that, that you don't always need to be about horsepower, it's about handling.
All right, my friend. Well, nice job, and I liked your strategy. We thought that's what you were doing, so you got a couple of minutes here before you roll back out. Good luck.
Thanks, DW. It's just fun to be in this group right here. I felt like trying up a lunch there for a little while, but we're in. We can't start anywhere from 12. It's been a good day for us.
10-4, buddy.
All right, the top 12 will run for the pole shortly. Now, 2 of those 12 drivers set their fastest lap on their second, not their first run. Interesting.
Power, prestige, and a whole lot of cash.
This is WPT Alpha 8.
Poker's highest rollers
I'm vicious.
compete around the world for the highest stakes in the game. WPT Alpha 8, Sunday at 9 Eastern on Fox Sports 1.
This is the car I fell in love with. picking up my new Malibu.
No way.
It's the Chevy Open House event.
Look at Joe's new truck!
Where the price you see is the price you pay. Oh, that's me. All right.
Equinox!
From our house to your house. It's time to take home an award-winning Chevy. Now, during the Chevy Open House event, get this well-equipped 2014 Chevy Cruze LT for under 19 grand. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Hi, I'm Jeff Gordon.
Oh, Ralph!
And this is Test Drive 2.
No way this is happening. This can't not be happening.
I'm going to be playing the cab driver.
What is he talking about? What did he just say?
No, get out of the cab. We can put the windows down. No, sir. Please.
I can't go back, man.
Chelsea battles Galatasaray. Real Madrid takes on Schalke. UEFA Champions League. Tuesday on Fox Sports 1 and Fox Sports 2.
Driving a classic is like speaking a lost language. It grabs you and demands your attention. In a classic, you know when the engine's running. You feel the ride. Fast seems faster, and turning heads is inevitable. You always take the scenic route, and getting lost is just part of the plan. Because no matter where you go or what you do, life's just better in a classic. Haggerty, we may sell insurance, but we live classics.
This kid Toby Marshall's an underdog. Him and his dad went on to racing the big legs at Indy. But this ain't just about racing. Dino took everything from me.
You have to win.
This is an opportunity of a lifetime. You gotta move.
The blue-collar kid!
I'm never gonna stop.
Need for Speed. Rated PG-13. Now playing.
Let's take a closer look at the field. Thanks to Sprint. Jeff Gordon is the career short track win leader. He has 16. Remember, we only have 6 short track races per year these days, not like it used to be. Switch now to the new Sprint family plan. Up to 10 friends and family can get unlimited talk, text, and a gig of data for as low as $25 a month each on the Sprint network. Visit sprint.com/speed or your local Sprint store. Greg Biffle and Matt Kenseth each set their fastest lap on their second, not their first run, as the other 10 drivers who advanced to round 2 did. Kind of interesting. Now, their tires have several more laps on them than the 10 drivers they're about to face off against.
Yeah, the guy, I think, is sitting in a really good spot. Of course, Logano's car is so fast, he's going to be hard to beat, but I like that 11 car. He got 1 lap on his tires, and he's ready to roll.
Well, looks like Marcus Ambrose, you just talked to him, Darrell, in that 9 car. He's going to be the first driver to the exit of pit road with Kyle Busch in the 18 not far behind.
Well, I think you need to get out there, Larry. You just don't have that much time, and you need to get out there and see what you got. I mean, like he said, the worst we're going to start, 12th.
Now, we're still 30 seconds from the green flag to begin round 2. Sun has poked through what has become a pretty dense cloud layer coming over the speedway, so the idea of catching a cloud in these 10 minutes may well come into play here.
And you know, if you can't sit on the pole here, you want to be in the top 4. Pit selection. There's 4 premium pit stalls here at the exit and the entrance of the front stretch pits, the exit and the entrance of the back stretch pits. That's the premium pits. Like, here's one of them right there. There's one right there. You want those in pits. That's worth a ton as far as pit stops.
The clock started, I think, Mike, a few minutes ago. I think we're a minute 19, a minute 20 in to the session already. I'm not sure why people aren't going, except maybe they just intend to make 1 lap. Maybe that's it, 1 run.
So I was waiting for the green flag, didn't see it. So
I think the flagman was just waiting for the cars to go.
And now he waves the flag.
And
all
it's
right.
in the air.
So it's on. A minute 36 seconds into this 10-minute session. Kyle Busch is going to put up the first lap. Jimmy Johnson is also out. None of these drivers can start worse than 12th. Kyle, 14.97.
Pretty good lap.
Now that would not have been quick enough to transfer into this round.
But that was his first lap. Let's see if he picks up on this second lap.
Jimmy Johnson 15:09. Kyle's second lap is slower.
Slow down. Yeah.
Johnson from a 15:09 picks it up to 15:06.
Second quick.
The gauntlet's laid down.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, there's no real mad rush to get out there. I think these guys all know it's probably going to be a couple of laps. They got the track pretty much to themselves with only 12 cars to run in this session. It's not going to be crowded, so you can take your time and figure your strategy here.
Greg Biffle backing out.
Keselowski backing out.
And here comes the Biff.
Brad Keselowski in the 2-car. You saw him making a move there to go down and make his lap.
All right, the McGuire's Ford on track.
I think the old Biff was pretty happy that they got his car going as good as they did after having that little encounter with the wall in practice. I think he was pretty excited that the car is as good as it is. A little loose off 2 right there. That's going to hurt.
He sure sounded happy to make the top 12 though, when he cut that lap.
Yeah, he was shouting.
Third at 15:11 on lap 1.
It's been a long time since I've seen turn 2 give drivers as much trouble as I have here this weekend already.
Greg Biffle trying to take the pole from Kyle Busch. Second, 14:99.
He was trying.
And that sun is getting brighter over here on the front straightaway.
Yeah, it's sticking through a little hole in the clouds right now, but in the little bit of time we have, it's not going to move a whole lot.
Don't believe with concrete, this white concrete like this doesn't make a tremendous amount of difference.
Mike and Darrell, it looks like everybody has said we're going to make one run in this session. What it is what it is.
Yeah, well, with the tires the way they are, I just think unless you, they really don't have any other option.
Brad Keselowski, the Miller Lite Ford, fastest 14:90.
But his teammate Joey Logano on that 22, who was quickest in that first session, he's out there right now.
These two guys couldn't sit on the front row again this weekend, could they?
3 in a row?
That would be unheard of. And
Joey Logano
car, I'm telling you, he has got it. This may be.
The Shell Pennzoil Ford is fastest. No, they tie.
Oh my gosh.
14:904 is an exact tie with his teammate Keselowski.
But let's see what he can do here on his second lap.
A little
faster.
Quicker, a little quicker, 89. Nice job.
That was just enough.
And look at that, 1-2 again.
14:89. Now here's Denny Hamlin, who only has 1 lap on his tires.
This is a guy they better worry about. I believe this is a guy that might be able to beat him. And Denny Hamlin is an awesome short track driver, I can tell you that.
Well, he looks awfully good.
He's got a huge advantage with those tires.
How about that?
Hey, and it's a new track record
for Denny Hamlin.
Woo!
And that was on lap 1, 14.761.
That's all he had,
That's
Larry.
all he needs. And
bring her in. Whoa now, whoa now, whoa now. He's all excited.
Casey Kane's come out. He is 7th with a 15:21 on his first lap. Jeff Gordon's on track. Kane picks it up to 15:02. He is now 6th. Gordon 15:07. Now Jimmy Johnson was one of the first to go out. They've got the cool down system hooked up to Johnson's car. He may make a second run.
And Gordon's, you know, he's usually pretty good on qualifying here and picking up a little bit. Let's see what he's got.
4th for Jeff Gordon, 14:96 with 4 minutes to go.
What do you call him, front rowy Joey? He's still on the front row.
And here comes Ryan Newman. We can't call him Front Row Joe for 2 reasons. First, his name is Joey, not Joe. We already have a Front Row Joe when Joe Nemechek was starting on the front row in all those races. So that was as close as we could come.
Yeah, it's all right for today.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
As long as he stays there. All right, Newman. From a 15:11, picks it up to a 15:04. Newman is 8th.
Car looked a little jukey, just kind of sawing on it, not real smooth through the corner. Let's see what Matt Kent says. He's out again.
And Carl Edwards.
Carl's here. See if anybody's got anything for that.
Here comes Carl. And Kenseth for second, 14.88.
Now we have a Joe Gibbs front row.
That was Kenseth's first lap. He's going to run a second lap here in that 20 car.
And remember, he was up the track and in the wall earlier.
And he's faster with a 14.86 in the Home Depot Toyota.
That's still a 10th off of his teammate Denny Hamlin in that 11.
Oh, I knew that. I like that 11 strategy. When I saw that lap he put up on his own, that one lap in the first session, he was third. I said, oh boy, this guy's got something for him.
And he's climbed out and he says, if y'all can beat it, have at it.
Have at it, boys.
And then there was one. Marcus Ambrose is the only driver who has not yet made a lap.
I need to call Marcus and tell him it's okay to go now. He said he thinks he's supposed to under the end of the session. Well, he said he thought they had something for him. We'll see.
2 minutes to go. And Brad Keselowski will make a second run.
How about that? The two Gibbs cars on the front row, the two Penske cars in the third and fourth spot. That's pretty cool.
You know, what do you got to lose here? You can't fall back by going again. You can only fall back by getting beat.
Oh, you could. I can think of a lot of bad things that could happen going again, but if you want to try, go ahead.
Keselowski trying to improve on a 14.90. He is fourth right now. 1/100th behind third, 4/100ths behind the front row.
Well, this is a nice lap, nice and clean. The car looks good, but I don't think it's going to improve.
It's a little slower, Darrell. 14.93 to a 90. Here goes Ambrose rolls, and Jimmy Johnson's coming back out. So is Jeff Gordon.
Again, it's another nice lap by Brad. It's looking pretty good and getting off in both corners really smooth, and he runs out and gets a second.
Second by 3/1000ths of a second.
And that's under the record. That's two cars under the record.
That was awfully close to Denny Hamlin, though.
And the Aussie will be the final driver to put up a time in round two. We're inside of a minute to close out knockout qualifying.
Marcus up to 6 right there on that first lap.
14.96.
Not a bad first lap. Drove her down into 3 real good, and the car stuck. Let's see what he's got off corner here. Can he do it?
All right, the 3 to 5th. Picks up to 5th at 14.90. The 3 Hendrick cars are on track. So are Carl Edwards and Joey Logano. Final 30 seconds.
Well, if Logano could beat Hamlin, it would be back to the Penske cars on the front row.
Well, and his teammate Brad Keselowski picked up his second time out in that 2 car.
Jimmy Johnson a little slower, a 16 versus an 06.
Well, this is a good lap by Logano. I don't know if it's good enough or not, but it's
10
a good
seconds. Will Jimmy Johnson get another lap in? He's going to make it under the flag stand before time runs out under Kyle Busch. So next time across, this will be it. Edwards 12th. Logano from 4th stays 4th.
Wow.
Here comes Kyle Busch. He'll be the final driver on the clock from 14.97 to a 15.03, no change at 7th.
Biffle was not able to complete a lap. All he did was take the green in his 16 car.
Okay, so now we have a Gibbs car and a Penske car on the front row, and a Gibbs car and a Penske car on the second row.
Boy, it's been a tough 2 rounds of qualifying for Denny Hamlin. He ran a total of 2 laps.
The greatest fight in UFC history.
Dan Henderson.
Big shot by Shogun. Dan's in trouble.
Shogun Hua.
Shogun and Hendo.
The most anticipated rematch in UFC history. March 23rd, only on America's new sports network, Fox Sports 1.
Breaking news update for hip implant patients. Recent reports and findings link metal hip implants to serious complications and injuries. The types of implants that may be affected include DePuy ASR, Johnson & Johnson, Stryker, and Zimmer. If you or a loved one are suffering from these symptoms or have a recalled or defective hip implant, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call now.
Call 1-800-630-6270.
9 out of 10 parents dream of sending their children to college. But 7 out of 10 future college graduates will owe thousands in student loans. The Gerber Life College Plan can help with a safe, guaranteed way to start saving for college today.
The average student is going to graduate with $27,000 worth of debt. Can you imagine how much it's going to be in the future?
You can get started today for as low as $10 a week, and your money is guaranteed to grow with no stock market risk. Plus, the college plan includes life insurance for added protection. Even if your child decides not to attend college, you can use the money you receive when the plan matures any way you want.
Why would you burden your children with thousands of dollars in student loans? It's crucial to start saving while they're young.
Your kids grow up fast. Start saving for their future today.
Call 800-934-2213 to apply now or to learn more, or go to mygerbercollege.com. Call right now and you'll receive this free book. Call 800-934-2213.
NASCAR's best drivers take on the world's fastest half mile. Sprint Cup Racing live from Bristol, Sunday at 12:30 on Fox.
There is your front row, Joe Gibbs Racing and Team Penske. It's the 18th career pole for Denny Hamlin and his first since Martinsville last October. Christis, the 5th pole at Bristol for Joe Gibbs Racing and their first of the year.
Well, he talked about the adjustment when he brought his car in, and then he said one word: wow. How fast does a 76 feel?
It's fast. It's faster than I ever imagined going around this track. Every new rules change we have just makes these cars go a little bit faster, and Darren just made an excellent call, with our adjustments, and team stepped up. We pretty strategic in how we executed that qualifying session, and Keselowski, obviously, with some laps on his tires, put one down there. So we thought that, it was going to be one and done for us. We felt like one good effort in that final round, but luckily we didn't have to go back out there. I'm not sure we would have even made it on time.
Okay, that's qualifying. You start up front. You've got that pit selection. How is this car going to race?
Well, our FedEx Freight Toyota Camry, I was way more excited about it in race trim than I was qualifying. So our car was super consistent, didn't fall off, and so it's everything that you need to win a race here.
Wow, when the pole sitter says that, Mike, that's something to watch.
Oh, absolutely. 3rd straight week with a new track record, and this time it's Denny Hamlin breaking Team Penske's stranglehold on the front row. Now, if Keselowski and Logano had won the front row again, that would be 3 in a row. Has that ever been done before? We'll tell you when we come back.
Tonight, for the win! The Big East semifinals. Seton Hall shocked Villanova and now battles Providence. And Xavier takes on Creighton. Then it's a Pac-12 matchup featuring Stanford versus UCLA. The Big East and Pac-12 semifinals. Presented by New York Life. Tonight at 6:30 on Fox Sports 1.
Visit Camping World today and get rock-bottom pricing on everything we sell. Be the first to see this year's newest and most popular models of RVs. New travel trailers as low as $99 a month. New motorhomes as low as $399 a month. Camping World is the largest nationwide RV company. And because of that, we'll beat any dealer's prices. We guarantee it. Plus, buy an RV from us and gain access to our Good Sam Elite loyalty program offering incentives valued at over $2,000. Call or visit your local Camping World today.
We have everything you'll ever need at Camping World.
It's the huge 29 for all sale. All our 4G phones are just $29 after rebates, including phones from Samsung and Nokia. It's the biggest 4G phone sale of the year, only at Metro PCS. Now with nationwide 4G LTE.
All right, let's say you're undecided about which truck to buy. Just for kicks, here's a little research project. Pick a work site, any work site, and look over the fence. Ta-da! Your next truck. Ford F-150. The truck that's #1 in the hardest working industries. Maybe because it's got the power and the fuel economy of an EcoBoost engine. It doesn't matter what they're doing on the other side of that fence. More guys count on F-150 than any other truck. Shovels down. This is the Ford F-150.
Those little things still get you. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment is right. Cialis is also the only daily ED tablet approved to treat symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines, and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any allergic reactions like rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use in a free 30-tablet trial.
Hey, it's Mike Hill. Coming up tonight on Fox Sports Live is March Madness, so which bubbles will be burst, and will there be another number 1 seed that goes down? Plus, which highlight will be the one in our Friday night countdown? It's all after Pac-12 Hoops. These guys are going to watch. You should too.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Denny Hamlin has the track record and the pole for Sunday's Food City 500. Brad Keselowski will start alongside. Matt?
Exciting final round of qualifying. Brad Keselowski, the Miller Lite Ford. When you sit back and analyze the final session with Paul Wolfe, what stood out to you? Maybe something else you could have done different.
Well, Denny did a great job of, getting his lap in early with the least amount of time on his tires. And, that's how this qualifying is going to evolve. Getting laps off of your tires so you can keep it for the next round. So, his team did a great job. And my team did a great job. Another front row start. So, that's always good at Bristol because track position is important, but more important than track position is pit stall selection. And so we'll get a good pit stall out of that and go racing to the front.
Thanks, Matt. Brad Keselowski, outside pole next to Hamlin. Joey Logano right behind. Teammates for Joe Gibbs, Hamlin and Kenseth, inside of the first 2 rows.
Made a good point, Hamlin did. He had 2 laps on his tires, and Keselowski had 4 on his, and Kenseth had 2 on his. Logano had 6 on his. So keeping laps off your tires and being ready for that last shootout, that was the deal.
See a lot of the Hendrick drivers on this graphic right here. Casey Kane, Jimmy Johnson, both in the top dozen. Kurt Busch almost made the top 12.
1,000 to the second.
Bunch of good cars. There's Cole Wood back there. They did a nice job in practice. He and David Reagan and Gillum, and those guys were all really good in practice.
How about Michael McDowell? They came here and tested, and they were rewarded with a top 25 start here.
Yes, sir. Those guys they were all good in practice too. Every one of them.
A little surprised at some names we see here. Wow. Kevin Harvick, Paul Menard back on row 14. Martin Truex Jr. all the way back on row 15 in his 78 car.
Didn't expect that. I thought they'd be much better, particularly Harvick. He loves this place and the way they ran at Phoenix.
Danica Patrick got the final spot on time. She held the bubble. Her boss, Tony Stewart, along with Brian Vickers, have to take a provisional along with Quapple and Truex.
That's a couple of surprises, too, Larry. Tony Stewart and Brian Vickers back on row 19.
Here's the rest of the field, and you'll see those who failed to qualify behind it. You have to go all the way back to 1957 to find a team that swept the front row 3. Actually, they did it 4 weeks in a row. Pete DiPaolo Racing, with drivers Fireball Roberts, Marvin Panch, and Paul Goldsmith, swept the front row 4 weeks in a row. That was the mark the Penske team was gunning for and just missed as Denny Hamlin takes the pole.
But that was 2 laps he ran today. She's 500 on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. You better buckle up tight, boys. It's going to be a wild ride.
Going to be fun in Thunder Valley at the world's fastest half mile. Now, coming up next, Fox Football Daily right here on Fox Sports 1, then Fox College Hoops Tip-Off, and then the Big East Tournament. Keep it right here on Fox Sports 1.